Hello everyone and welcome back to Two Bros Game Night. I am your host, Older Bro.
I'm your other host, Younger Bro.
And today we continue in National Park Girls, where we're finally at the third of the National Park Girls National Parks.
In the natural
Zion State Park. Or National Park. Wait.
Ow!
I rub my hands across the ground. Moist soil and dirt cool my skin. Grabbing a clump of thin wild grass, I let it slide through my fingers. It's yellowish green and thin as wheat.
Zion National Park?
Mm-hmm.
I jump to my feet, then jump back up again. Or trip, then jump back up again. This art style doesn't really fit the rest of the game again. Though this art style does kind of fit with...
This looks like background scenery.
Well, it is background scenery. But, like...
But this is supposed to be, like, a main picture.
Yeah.
No,
again, this
like
this feels kind of like it fits with those kids from earlier, but not with the rest of the game.
It feels like they had a competition, and like whoever draws the best art will feature in the game. We'll put that image in somewhere.
Yeah.
And I think this is that.
Could be. Splatterings of tall trees extend into the distance in all directions. In the clearing, the land is nearly bare of them, but the further you go, the closer they get to each other, until these sparse, almost naked trees combine their presence and merge into a forest. There's an elegance to them, the restrained spacing of their pine needles allowing them to show off more of their toned and sleek wood. If their mighty redwood cousins back in Yosemite are knights, these are fencers. They all accumulate at the base of the mountain, as if it were a place to gather and worship.
To worship Zion? Sure.
Sure.
Let's put her on the pedestal, the high one.
I mean, that is literally what Yosemite does, so I don't see a problem with this.
And it's a high chair.
Yeah.
Very, very
No,
tall
she wouldn't
high
do
chair.
that because she feels... she still remembers Zion as her mother, so it's like, yeah, she wouldn't do that.
Alright, here's your ink, pen, and paper,
Yeah.
Miss Zion. We like your highest of chairs.
Yeah. Anyways, the mountain looks alien compared to the natural green of the trees. Its face is a gray mass, but jagged stripes of pink and gray minerals outline it, the unmistakable trademark of Navajo sandstone. Gray mass. No, this looks pretty brown.
The only gray stuff I can see is maybe shadow or rock.
Yeah,
No.
Patternless nooks and overhangs look like they've been carved into the mountainside by an artist with no vision. Yeah.
With no vision.
Yeah, you know what? I do think there was an artist here that had no vision. It's called the artist who took one look at this and said, yep, this background matches all the other backgrounds in this game.
Oh, man.
Like,
That is...
wow, I have never seen a game
hilarious.
shit on itself so much. Something so chaotic and random, it could only exist in nature, yet it anchors the entire forest, presiding over it like a custodian.
Feast your eyes, Ranger. You're looking at the North Guardian Angel.
Ranger, do I have to morph?
There's more popular places in the co-op terrace.
Zion must feel Yosemite's eyes watching her because she immediately course corrects.
But the Northgate peaks are always so beautiful. Something as simple as sitting between a mountain can really humble you.
Ah, God.
She
I don't
likes
think
her
there's been
peaks.
anything more forced. The only thing more forced than that line is this artwork.
You're telling me. Just looking at it makes me feel like a teeny tiny ant floating through
I
the
think you
haze.
just insulted her, right?
Huh. You get that too?
Like clockwork. I just try to push the bad thoughts away.
Oh, I just try to pull them in.
You know, the universe is going to collapse on itself one day.
That would suck.
Not thinking!
Yellowstone plugs her ears and stomps her feet to drown me out. Yosemite's wandered off, inspecting the ground for a flat spot clear of any rocks.
Eve, stop inducing an existential crisis in Yellowstone. Yellowstone, could you help me with setting up the food, please?
I don't know. She's having a
Okey-dokey,
crikey.
Smokey.
A crikey? Yes. A crisis.
No, you're Smoky. Yellowstone is where the bear comes from, not Yosemite.
Only you can prevent picnics.
Only you can prevent confusion between Yosemite National Park and Yellowstone National Park.
Only you can prevent confusion and delay.
Like this game. Yellowstone prances over to Yosemite, humming a little tune to herself. For someone who was brushing up against a nervous breakdown, she sure did recover easily.
But you gotta let me choose the picnic spot. Not just any old ground will do. It's an art.
So
And I
like the
assume
background.
you're the artisan?
No.
Yes, indeedy. And you can just call me DiCaprio.
Oh, no one's gonna get that joke.
That's...
She proudly crosses her arms, basking in her status as a skilled homemaker. Meanwhile, Yosemite is basking in the stupidity of what Yellowstone just said.
Do you mean Da Vinci?
No, I'm pretty sure, Leonardo. I'm pretty sure the Ninja Turtle's actually the best. The two of them go off arguing the dichotomy of Leonardo's as they search for the perfect place to picnic. While they're busy doing that, now would be the perfect time to really take in the sights.
I stretch and take a deep breath.
Yeah. I take out the camera I stashed away in my flannel pocket. It's a digital one I bought almost 10 years ago, and I barely know how to work it.
Then just use your phone.
But she has a flip phone. But once I get it turned on and triple check it's not set to record, I start snapping away. It's not every day I get to visit Utah. In fact, the only time I've ever visited has been when I drove through it when going to Georgia for my federal training in Glencoe.
There's a ranch in northern Utah.
I've always loved how red all the mountains are. Not so much here, but you wouldn't have to go very far to find an entire mountain range that glows as if a sunset was being projected from them. No other state looks quite like it. People are nice too.
You sure?
I mean, polygamy and all that. I zoom in up close on one of the more interesting spots on the North Guardian Angel. An overhang on the far left. I'm really expecting the shoe to drop and Zion to teleport you away. With her.
Just like with Yellowstone.
Yeah.
That would suck.
No, well, I'm expecting it because that's going to be how they do the... I actually don't like it here. My favorite spot's this one. It's much cooler.
Yeah.
View this one instead. Don't be bored. An overhang on the far left. It's curved in such a way that the shadow cast under it makes it look like the entrance to a shallow cave. The wall on the mountain fades into a dull pink at the end of it.
Are you actually happy to be here, Miss Eve?
Sorry if it doesn't look like I'm smiling. I am.
The grass rustles. I look away from the camera. Zion creeps to my side, twirling her thumbs and keeping her eyes locked to the ground, as if the simple task of talking to me was a potential risk.
Surprised I'm capable of feeling joy?
Panic sets in as she scrambles to clarify.
Oh no, not at all.
Hesitance sets in as she realizes she can't.
Well, not entirely.
As polite as ever, I say, even when the truth is inconvenient.
Don't need to sugarcoat it, kid. I know what I am.
Sad and lonely.
Mainly the lonely part.
You do?
Whatever she's thinking, I've been called it. Cynical, stick in the mud, hard ass, or as Yellowstone might put it.
Sure. A grump.
Oh, no.
No.
Zion jolts up, so far that she floats back to the ground, swinging her head back and forth.
That's a fib. Never ever have I thought you were grumpy, Miss Eve.
Oh, really?
Just sad.
Gravity
oh, crap.
must have
Do
gotten
I have crippling depression now?
a little heavier, because my arms fall limp at my side, along with the camera. Zion's such an anomaly, even when compared to Volcano Head and Waterfall Hair. She's intuitive in ways most adults are too self-absorbed to be, and she does it with the gentle honesty of a child. As far as I know, she could be both, or either. Who knows how years and age even work for these girls? Despite that, it's hard to feel like she's effectively anything other than the kid.
How can I be sad when you're so pretty? This park has sights I couldn't dream of seeing in NorCal.
Why the fuck would you have driven through Utah to go from NorCal to Georgia? Why wouldn't you go down? Since Georgia is literally south. That's a weird direction. Also, why wouldn't you have flown? I guess nature lover. It's not something I'm particularly good at doing consciously, but I try to give her a smile, using my mom as a base of reference. Someone who managed to ascend to sainthood despite raising 5 rowdy kids. Or maybe because of it. Cyan can't hide her blush, as pink as the gradient of the mountain. Her usual uncertain courtesy is briefly taken over by a huffy pout.
You really mustn't say things like that, Miss Eve. It's embarrassing for all parties.
I think I've discovered one problem with a lot of these visual novel games. There's not enough emotions.
Yeah. I never really thought about it much, but she really does sound like a mini Yosemite. Except Zion's big words have the benefit of not being spoken by a big mouth. Let's hope old Leafear's personality doesn't wear off on her too.
But, just so you know...
Oh.
She lowers her voice to a grave whisper, cusping one side of her mouth to tell me a secret. She waits for me to crouch down. I don't.
It's very possible for someone to feel sad, but to try and hide it by pretending to feel another way.
Yeah, we get it.
Oh, Yosemite,
yeah.
I get ya.
Well, Yellowstone.
Uh-huh. And do you think that's what I'm doing?
She shakes her head again, twice as hard, with twice as many
Not
shakes.
anymore. Not at all.
Yeah, you're not pretending to be grumpy, to be sad. You just are sad.
You seem to smile so much more these days. And you don't sigh as much before going to work now. That one is the most notable. Sighing is the biggest sign of sadness there is. You're still scary.
No,
But
I think you
you've
can do
absolutely
sighing and like
changed.
frustration. you
Now
know?
you're nice scary.
You're nice.
Yeah, but
scary.
frustration is kind of frustration is kind of a mixture of sadness and anger.
I guess.
Pressing her hands together, she gives me a smile. The way she closes her eyes while doing it makes me think she's scared to see my reaction. As she should be, because that's bullshit. What's with these campers? What's with Zion? Or Jesse? What am I doing now that's any different than before? There's no change in just doing your job, or the stupidest simple thing like smiling. It's called being a normal-ass human. The last I checked, it didn't imply something as drastic as going soft, or letting go of the things that made you hard to begin with.
Trust me, kid, I'm just as scary today as I was yesterday. No one stops being miserable overnight.
Yeah, but they do over months.
Throw me a bad day and see how nice I am then.
Fuck.
Well, I suppose that's true. You've been with us for more than a single day, or night for that matter. Change is as gradual as the passing of dusk to dawn, after all.
You still notice the crack of dawn, though. Can't say it looks much brighter than the witching hour right now.
Fix that.
Zion contemplates this, rubbing her chin like a junior detective.
In that case, you're probably still sleeping. Some people sleep in for an awfully long time.
If only this was literally not a metaphor and this was all a dream.
Oh.
Then this would be a very bad game, because
Yeah,
the
fuck
it's just
you.
a dream excuse is the shittest, worst excuse in all of gaming.
Yeah.
And all of cinema.
Remember-
And all of writing, for that matter.
Remember Kill la Kill?
Yeah, fuck that. She glances over at Yosemite. Her and Yellowstone are arguing over whether Splinter was one of the Renaissance greats. I knew it! You were gonna bring up the Ninja Turtles. I don't know how it got to this point. Leonardo the Turtle, I just fucking said it. Listen to me when I'm talking to you. I don't know how my life got here either.
Zion, are you feeling sad and pretending?
Oh.
If there's something going on between her and Zion, shouldn't it be her and Yosemite? Since the her you should be talking
Wait,
about.
if there's something going on between her and...
The her she's referring to is Yosemite.
It's Yosemite,
But-
but...
She was just talking to Zion. Why wouldn't you say
Say
her
you
and
s-
Yosemite? The her being Zion, the person you're talking to and about.
Like, we understand who you're talking about, but...
Flip these.
Yeah.
Whatever wordless little struggle it may be, I'm bound to get sucked in at some point. This is what happens when an entire social ecosystem is crammed into a cabin. Zion's shoulders tense up, then slump down. It's hard to read her expression based on her profile, but when she turns to face me, her tiny hands are clumped into fists and certainly steals her gaze.
We do what we can for as long as we can, Miss Eve.
There's a sharp whistle from behind us. We look back, and both of Yellowstone's pinkies are in the corner of her mouth. Talk about skill. On the other end of the spectrum, Yosemite also has both of her pinkies on her mouth and is still blowing all of the air stored up into her lungs onto them. When she notices us watching, she pretends she was coughing into her hand. On the ground beside them, an entire picnic spread has been set up.
Stew's down, you two. Come and get it.
Stew?
Oh god.
Oh no.
Yosemite's cooking. It's as bad as any kind of destruction out there.
Yellowstone scrunches her nose.
Say, Yosemite? Don't you mean soup's up?
Come and get it.
With a sigh, Zion leaves me behind and starts to walk over to the others. At this distance, I wonder why she doesn't just use her wings.
Because it probably takes more
However
power.
long we can take it.
Zion is very
Coming,
unhappy.
Yosemite!
Girl, just tell your daughter off. Yosemite greets Zion with a smile and a small hug, having been separated by the long, untraversable distance of 100 feet. Then she looks over to me, and her eyes go flat like a dead fish. She points at the invisible watch on her wrist. Amazing! Even in moments of oblivious internal crisis, she still manages to be insufferable. We lock eyes. I put on a smirk as smarmy as the one she usually wears, then make my way over, real slow-like.
Gotta say, girls, this place is gorgeous. Maybe even prettier than the park we came from.
Shots fired!
I don't mean it, of course. Not with all the memories I have here or there. But if it'll get under the skin of Yosemite the Prude, then I'll temporarily diss Yosemite the Park.
It's cute how you believe your pettiness will fuel my ire, when all it does is serve to further your own rot. Perish, gremlin.
Don't use those $20 words of yours to be a Grinch, Yosemite. Dollface was just smelling the roses.
Yellowstone, unaware of the psychological warfare occurring in front of her, sticks up for me. This is it. I win. Yosemite can't fight back against such oblivious kindness.
And they smell great.
I let the sentence slide out in a whisper, so backhanded I can almost see it slap Yosemite's face. She clicks her tongue and waves me off. For once, a total victory. Finally.
Finally, I owned you!
Yellowstone might not notice, but Zion sure does. Throughout all this, her eyes have been swooping back and forth between me and Yosemite. She uses the lull in the conversation to shift gears.
This spread looks like something out of a picture book. Did you set it up, Yellowstone? Bet your tush I did. It was just about the only thing Yosemite would let me do.
Aesthetically, the picnic really is perfect. Yellowstone's knack for detail shines. With every paper plate, those are paper, and dish arranged, this is clearly a glass, arranged around the picnic basket, as if it were a coffee table centerpiece. On all four corners, smooth stones weigh down the blanket to keep it from crinkling up. All that's missing is potato salad and fireworks. Even the spot she picked feels like it was expertly chosen to create the most all-American picnic experience possible. Right underneath an elder tree, with drooping branches and leaves for shade. I know which spot I'm taking.
Hey, Zion. How does the food look? I made all of it.
Zion's face is just like,
Doesn't
what
make
the
you
fuck
sour,
am I looking
Doesn't it
at?
bring back memories?
Hey, Zion, how's that taking it feel? How's taking it taste?
Yeah, Zion doesn't want to think she's blank-faced.
You better hope it's creamy, because otherwise it's just going to taste rotten.
And Yellowstone is laughing internally like this is the most pathetic
damn.
picnic I've ever seen.
Memories of puking on the blacktop as a kid. In all fairness, it could end up being good, but things aren't looking too hot right now. In fact, they're looking very cold and
Very cold
Flaccid.
and not classy.
no, flaccid.
Oh.
Some of these dishes look recognizable, but they're the wrong color. Shouldn't oatmeal porridge... That oatmeal porridge thing she made, that's orange. It shouldn't be orange. A fruit salad with pine needles is bedding? It's my only guess for a plate next to it. Were these even the fruit Jessie brought over with the groceries? Was any of this the food Jessie brought? She did the weird disappearing thing while making the food. Did she just go out and pick whatever she could find? Zion observes the presumably edible substances in front of her and nods.
This looks like you tried really hard, Yosemite. Good job.
Unfortunately, you suck.
I can hear the pain.
I can see the pain.
It must be fire season because Yosemite just got burned. But it doesn't seem to bother her. In fact, she's smiling. Like her macaroni portrait just got hung up on the fridge. Good job, Yosemite. It's not Da Vinci or DiCaprio, but you get 2 gold stars.
You get 1.
She's either deranged or resilient.
I'm glad. I was thinking of you the entire time.
Oh, God.
Oh, God, why?
She's deranged.
Come on, let me fix you a plate.
Oh, no, I can do that myself. Yosemite sits down on the blanket and starts to pile a little bit of everything onto a flimsy paper
I'll do
plate.
yours next, Yellowstone.
Oh,
Eve,
please, no.
you can do it yourself.
Whatever, I don't want her poisoning me anyways.
Fair.
Flopping down on the blanket, I slump against the tree. Call me overly cautious, but I'm gonna observe the reactions to this food before I even consider putting it in my body. Yosemite sets down Zion's plate in front of her. It's a mountain of food, almost as big as the actual mountain behind us. All mixed and mashed together. It's taken on the color and texture of ground rainbow trout. A bastardization of the food pyramid, if I've ever seen one.
This is a lot.
Of course it is. I know you say you're a picky eater, but the Zion I know would be happy with whatever she got. She would be grateful for simply having food.
Oh, no. The other Zion would have ate whatever this shit was.
No, the other Zion made the food herself.
Yeah, this is fair. She doesn't know what to think.
Girl.
You need a shot.
I don't have words for this. This is just sad.
This is sad.
It's the depression.
It's the depression of
shush.
picnics.
It's the depression of seeing someone about to break down in tears and knowing you can't do anything to resolve it. The unhappy cherub gives a defiant groan and pokes at Food Mountain with her finger. It jiggles.
Don't give me that. I expect you to finish everything on that plate. You don't expect me to let you starve now, do you?
Oh no.
She's gonna burn it.
Before I'm even done leaning over, Yellowstone is waiting for me to whisper in her
Is
ear.
starving to death even an option for you 3?
We get cravings, but it ain't like we'll croak from hunger. Before these 2, I could go weeks without eating.
Wow.
That's what I thought. What kind of fairy tale creature keels over from something as mundane as lack of food? Yosemite has always been stuck on hyperbole. Now she's just plain house. That's the problem.
You're right, Yosemite.
Zion, you are a good person. Be a little bit more assertive. Is that the right word?
It's like, you're a good person. Stand up for yourself.
Stand up!
Gripping her fork, Zion plunges it into the gelatinous mass. I have to swallow back the vomit a little when she slips it in her mouth.
Yum. It's
Cicada crunchy.
so crunchy.
It cracks like thin bones between her teeth.
Those would be the pine needles. They're quite nutritious.
Here's the thing, can you even eat like a pine cone?
I think so. I don't know why you would. She bobs her head up and down.
I'm guessing it's like, it has to be like properly prepared before you can eat it.
Presumably. She bobs her head up and down, squirreling away the food in her cheek.
Really hits the spot.
Stop, you're
Does that
torturing
mean you
yourself.
like it?
Oh, damn it.
No.
Zion swallows. The gulp sounds like an anvil settling in her stomach. Then, somehow, through all the different shades of discomfort flickering through her eyes, she smiles. Not a smirk either.
She smiles, her face turns green,
Yeah.
and she's like, well, we can't die from food
A
poisoning
bright,
either.
sunny beam. If you say yes here.
I love it. Almost as much as I love you, Yosemite.
Okay,
Oh.
the second thing might be true.
Where art thou?
Where art thou?
Oh, yeah. Oh, sisters, let's go down. Let's go down. Come on down. Come on, sisters, let's go down. Down to the river to pray.
But that's where are you going down to?
The river to pray. Me and Yellowstone can only sigh as the performance before us amps up the theatrics. Yosemite buys into it, though. She might even purchase the playbill during intermission. She swoons over Zion like her mere presence is enough to make her melt into a soup of unicorns and hearts.
Such a sweetheart.
There's a crack in her voice and the facade. Her breath shakes. She smacks her
Shame.
chapped lips as they quiver.
So lucky to have you.
No.
We do what we must because we can. For as long as we can. Zion's words seem more relevant than ever as she places a comforting hand on Yosemite's thigh.
No. I'm so lucky to have you. I'm sorry for being so difficult.
No. It's the opposite. She's being difficult.
I'm not sure how much good it did, but Yosemite gets halfway to a
You
smile.
have nothing to apologize for, little one.
You're right, she doesn't. You do.
Yeah.
She boops Zion on the nose. Her eyes go wide like a flashlight that's just shined in her face.
If this doesn't work, I'll be the one that needs to apologize to you.
Do it.
Do it.
Speaking of apologies,
Yosemite picks up another plate and starts loading it up with more food. Her bangs dangle over her eyes and hide most of it, but a slight blush streaks across her face as she's forced to admit that even she isn't without her faults.
sorry for taking so long, Yellowstone. You must be getting antsy.
Oh, no, really, it's no biggie. You don't gotta...
Her eyes. Okay, you're doing it. Everything.
Again, I think I get the point she's trying to get here. She's basically, she knows they've lost their memories, and she's doing the best she can to force them to remember those things by any means necessary.
Yeah.
This is an ends to a mean, or means to an end.
And it's not what.
Dread colors Yellowstone from the top of her volcano to the tip of her chin. A fresh, wobbling plate of slop is tossed in front of her. With nothing more than a passing glance, Yosemite vaguely acknowledges me.
I meant what I said. Starve.
You're doing me a mercy.
She sticks her nose in the air and returns to attending Zion. Ever the optimist, Yellowstone scoops up a chunk of the Yosemite surprise and gulps. She is trembling.
Rub-a-dub-dub. At least it ain't mud.
Oh, high praise.
Oh,
A gust of wind blows past us as she stares down the fork. Somewhere in the world, a tumbleweed drifts across the desert. Yellowstone is quick to the draw, though, and bites down before it can get her first. I don't doubt that it would have. Swallow. Gag. The fork falls into the blanket. Yellowstone limply sits on her knees, staring off into a safe place far from here. In her eyes are the reflections of every disaster and atrocity to ever scar the earth. The Black Death, Hindenburg, JFK, I see it all.
That bad?
About what I figured.
Oh,
She doesn't look at me.
So, what's the problem?
Dunno.
it's poison.
Some things just really take the Simon out of your Garfunkel, you know?
What the fuck's that mean?
The distance between me and her may as well have been from the sun to the moon. I do what I can to give her one solid pat on the shoulder. You gave Yosemite the benefit of the doubt, kid. There's nothing else you could have done.
Well, let's just stuff that trauma away for another day.
Oh, here we go.
No, it's
That
gonna
really
happen.
is how she copes.
For now, it's time to hatch Plan Y.
Wow, they went all the way
Why?
down.
What happened to the other 24 plants?
I burned them.
They don't exist. The Y stands for Yellowstone.
Oh.
Yeah, come on, girl. She takes a quick glance at Yosemite, who is currently wiping crumbs off Zion's face. With the coast clear, she does a small fist pump and starts digging around in her volcano. I feel nothing as I watch her arm go elbow deep inside her own head. Only emptiness gnaws at the pit of my chest as her tongue wiggles out the corner of her mouth. as if she's struggling to find gum in her purse.
Aha! Bingo!
Like a magician whipping a
Playing
rabbit out of their
course.
hat, she lifts out 2 Ziploc baggies with sandwiches inside them. Oh, sorry, I thought there was going to be something else in there. Alright, those emotions I wasn't feeling earlier, I'm feeling all of them now. Viscerally. She doesn't expect me to eat that right. Girl, it's literal actual food
It's
and it's
actual
protected in a
food.
fucking bag.
It's fine. Unless she burned
Not
it.
to be a stick in the mud, but I kinda saw this coming. So I did a little prep work in advance. Hope you like tuna salad.
Yeah, this is the best you're gonna
Oh
get.
god, she actually does. She tossed me one of the baggies. The heat melts to my skin as soon as I catch it. I play hot potato with it, passing it between my hands until it's cool enough to actually handle. Why do these girls keep throwing more bizarre concepts at me to accept? This time, literally. Wait, is it always warm inside Yellowstone's head? I thought her volcano only acted up when she got angry, but the bag felt like it was nuked in the microwave.
Oh shit. This sounds like SpongeBob Battle Bikini
Of course
Bottom
she's
music.
upset. I looked up from the baggie, trying to get a good read on her mood, but she's just staring at me expectantly, waiting for me to shove this head sandwich down my
Shit.
gullet. And unfortunately, guys, as she is waiting expectantly, so must we. Until next time. Until next time! The future is very uncertain, but what is certain is you guys are awesome, and there'll be more Two Bros Game Night tomorrow. See you then.
Bye-bye.